Y'all, surprisingly, I'm nervous as fuck. Like, I don't know why. Like, I'm nervous. Like, mm I didn't even think I was gonna be nervous because this is my story. Like, what the fuck? So, as I'm getting this part a little situated, hold on. So, yeah, I'm nervous as fuck because this is my story. Like, it's not that, I don't know, y'all. Okay, I'm just trying to get over my nerves. So let me just start off with my normal stuff. Free Brittany Griner. Free Brittany Griner till she's free. I gotta take a sip of this because y'all, I'm sweating. My nerves is bad because this is again my story, and it's not like I haven't told my story before, but this is my podcast, and you know this it it, it gets it's getting real. So it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limit. So I gotta be able to tell y'all what's up. So, cause a lot of people don't notice about me, but some people do. If you fuck with me and you fuck with my music, then you know my story or a little piece of my story. But today, since it's my Monday, you know, my Q&A Monday, my story time Monday, I'm taking this time to let y'all get to know me a little bit better because that's what it's all about. I get to give y'all the opportunity to get to know my guests a little bit better. So I want to take my Mondays and start giving y'all more of me. I'm gonna start doing more live singing. I'm gonna start doing more, live music and being more in tune with my people, and because I want to know everyone and I want people to know who I am, and the way I can do that is with my content by keep doing what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not even gonna get into a lot of my announcements. I'm going to tell you a little bit of my announcements because I still have people that's just now joining in because they used to me going live at 8. But today I want to live a little bit early because I'm going to be going to New Music Monday in Dale City with the Coalition DJ. So I'm going to go check them out, network, and, just vibe out. Y'all, before I get started with my story time, make sure you check on your strong people. Anybody that you know that's in the hospital, make sure that you do a wellness check. If you know anybody that's locked up, write them. It's absolutely free if you download the Emilio app. Write them and let them know that you're thinking about them and they not forgot about. Because trust me when I say, it's easy to feel like you forgot about, excuse me, when you in there. So, excuse me, y'all. Especially right now, times is hard. Depression is even more so than ever. They miss their families. They miss being in the world. The holidays is coming up. They miss doing holiday shit. So, make sure you write them. If you are on the YouTube right now, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Also, follow us on Spotify. It's Couch Chronicles, No Limits on Spotify as well. Spotify, if you're listening right now, make sure you hit that like button as well. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits, period. Now, y'all know I don't charge to be on a couch, but I do take tips. If you want to support the couch, trust me, I appreciate it. Okay? If you want to, hey. If you want to support the couch, Cash App, THA, Real, JANELL. Now, you can't see that because, it's backwards coming from this way, but I got a sign behind me that has my Cash App and my PayPal. My PayPal is the same. It's THA Real JANELL. If you're listening on Spotify, it's also in the description. If you want to support the couch, Cash App or PayPal, The Real Janelle. That's THA Real JANELL. I do appreciate it because it definitely helps with the couch stuff. Because I want to start cooking for my peoples again. So I just need to start getting some support, a little bit more support. So help support the couch. I'm just saying. Also, visit my website. That's THARealJANELL.com. It's up to date with all my shows that I have coming up. Anything, even the Couch Chronicles is on there. Keep streaming my music, other shit, my video, other shit. All my music time. I got 2 albums and 8 singles, over 25 features. Keep streaming my music. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify. Add my Spotify artist page as well. Just type in my name, Janell, in any one of my singles or titles of my album. You can type in Time, Janelle, other shit, or Janelle Shrooms, and go from my artist page from there. It's all about love, support, good vibes, and good energy. So make sure that you share it. Share some energy, share some good vibes. I got features with over 25 artists like FMBDZ, Coach Joey, Gino Cash, Cash Paid Elway, Risk Taker D-Boy, All Star JR, Shred Game On, you name it. You just name it. I'm there. So I'm trying to get, I'm trying to be more active with everybody now. I'm throwing myself more into my music now, more into my podcast. I'm not even going back to work anymore. My girl was like, babe, you ain't going back to work, especially after the way your boss just called you. No, you ain't going back to work. So I'm not going back to work. I'm just dedicating myself to my podcast and my music. So support your girl, okay? The Real Janelle on Cash App. Shit. If you fucking with the couch, drop them couches. Make sure you like, subscribe. On YouTube, hit the like button. Like, subscribe. Y'all, provided by Shots by Sequel. I now have microphones. So we're on microphones, so I hope you can hear me good. Like I said, follow the pages. Couch Chronicles on Instagram, couchchronicle.nolimits on Instagram, and Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify. My main page on Instagram and YouTube is THA Real JANELL, and my .com, therealjanelle.com. Now, I'm not going to go into the rest of my announcements because I want to go ahead and get into my story time. And obviously, I didn't write anything down when it comes to my story time because this is all me. Honestly, like I said, I was nervous to do this because I'm like, man, this might be a little too deep. But it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 to 9 Central Time. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment on the YouTube and the Spotify. Honestly, I didn't know where to begin because I was like, okay, well, before prison, I was in DHS custody. Before that, so I'm going to just start from being in DHS custody because a lot of the people I was in DHS custody with was in prison with me. I used to run away a lot when I was young. I didn't feel like anybody understood me. My dad wasn't the best as he is now. Like, my dad has come a long way. Back then, if you knew me in middle school, I didn't like my dad. You know, we was always into it. It would be times where he would hit me so hard in my mouth I couldn't even go to school because my lips would be busted or something. It was just always something between me and my dad. And so I kept running away. Like, I had to get the fuck up out of here. I didn't want to be around that shit. So I would leave. I would run away. And I remember the last time I had ran away, I was gone for maybe 4 or 5 days. And when my dad finally found me, I remember seeing what he pulled out to beat me with. And I was like, let me make up something. I was like, I'm pregnant. I couldn't think it. That's the only thing I could think of to say because I was like, he's about to hit me with this motherfucking big ass extension cord. Like, you know, them big thick ass extension cords, I'm talking about the big industrial ones, the green ones that we use for Christmas, the green and orange ones. I'm talking about that shit. I just remember I was beat so motherfucking hard that day. My skin, I could just see my skin just ripping from my legs, my stomach, my everywhere. And all I could think is, I hate this fucking man. Like, I hate him. That's all I could think, you know. And then I was angry with my mom because I'm like, you just gonna let this nigga do this shit? Like, what the fuck? I barely slept that night. I remember sitting in my bed, barely sitting in my bed because it hurt. It was like I couldn't, but I was bleeding everywhere. I didn't want blood to seep through my shit. So I remember putting on I remember putting on like 4 pair of clothes and fucking sweats, like a bunch of fucking sweats. I remember putting on a bunch of sweats. I remember putting on like 4 pair of shirts. Like, I basically just didn't want to bleed through anything. And I was saying to myself, okay, let me put something on. First of all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. Obviously, I was getting a phone call on my Spotify area. So if you called on my phone, don't call again. Thank you. Y'all already know it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I am live. I had to start over to Spotify because when people call my phone, it messes it up. So Spotify, you'll see a little segment that's on the beginning. So refer back to the beginning of the other one, and we're gonna keep it going. So I remember laying in my bed or sitting in my bed with all these clothes on, and I was just like, man, I gotta go to school tomorrow. And I could barely walk. And I'm bleeding everywhere still. So I changed my clothes into some more I changed my clothes into some more like fresh clothes to where it was no blood seeping through. And and I went to school. I remember going to school, and the school that I went to was predominantly white. We stayed in a predominantly white area, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and it's predominantly white. So I remember going to school, and I was walking funny. I was walking so funny that my homeboy pulled me to the bathroom. My homeboy pulled me to the bathroom, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, I want, what's going on, white?" And he pushed me, and I was like, "Ow, ow." He's like, "You got blood on the back of your pants. What's?" And so he basically was like, "What the fuck?" And so I pulled my pants down and showed him my stomach, and he just started crying right then and there. I remember he just started crying, and I was like, I didn't even know what to say, because I never seen a boy cry at that time. And it just, to me, I was just like, damn, he crying. If he crying, then I can only imagine if somebody else seen. So I just was like, don't say nothing, please don't say nothing. And he was like, I'm not. He's like, but I'm fucked up about this one. So we left the bathroom, and I went to my gym class. And instead of dressing out, I was just like, I don't feel good. Not knowing that I had blood on the back of my pants. I was just like, I'm just going to sit this one out. And but I remembered I had some extra sweatpants in my locker, so I was going to go switch out my top ones that was on the top. I don't know why you keep calling. If you listen, just don't tune into the couch. Stop calling my phone. Seriously. This is my podcast. Don't do that. That's annoying, and it's fucking disrespectful. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. This is my fucking life. This is my story, and I'm telling it. Don't call my phone if you fucking offended. If you offended, get the fuck on. I'm talking. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I just said I was going to tell my story today. It's story time. This is what the fuck happened in my life. Like, what the fuck? This is what made me who the fuck I am today. So, it's the Couch Chronicles. There ain't no fucking limits. I'm just saying. So I remember, I'm annoyed. I remember I changed my top pants because the top pants had blood on it, so I changed it to my fresh ones. And before I can even walk out of the gym, the police was like, and I'm like, what the fuck is the police coming to me for? Like, and they was like, we need you to come in this room. I'm like, okay. So I go to the room, and my gym teacher's in there, and my homeboy that was crying. So they in the office, and when I seen his face, I already knew that he said something. So thank you, thank you. So I put I knew just by looking at his face that he said something, and I just was like shaking my head, like, why the fuck? I already don't like the police. Why the fuck would you get the police involved? So I shook my head, and then they brought my sister in, and I just was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. Just if y'all about to take us, just do what y'all gotta do at this point. And even whenever I got arrested, I just was like, I'm not finna say. Just at this point, just take me. We ain't even gotta do none of that bullshit. Just come on, we ain't gotta talk about it. Just if y'all know what y'all know, then what the fuck you need to ask me for? So let's go. So they took me and my sister to DHS custody. And honestly, I don't even really remember getting out of DHS custody before I went to prison. I just remember that the whole time I was in DHS custody, I would run away. You know, I didn't want to be in none of them foster homes. They had like my foster parents, they didn't give a fuck that they kids was trying to touch us. And they kids was old as fuck. Like, these wasn't no young ass motherfucking kids. These is some old ass motherfucking grown ass men. And then the foster parents that we would have, they would keep our fucking vouchers, wouldn't even spend. We didn't even know we was getting vouchers for the longest fucking time. I was like, damn, we ain't got no food, no clothes. Nigga, we still in the same fucking shit. All because our foster parents or whoever we was with or wherever we was at, they wanted to keep our fucking checks. So if you know anybody that's in the system, shit, check on their motherfucking asses too, because that shit ain't no motherfucking joke. Almost everybody I was in DHS custody with was literally in prison with me. Like, that shit, not only, this is the thing. First of all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles and ain't no fucking limits. My Spotify keeps getting interrupted. This got to be the first time my Spotify kept getting interrupted. So I might have 3 different versions of this on Spotify, but all these motherfuckers is going up. Don't play. So, man, y'all, I just, they think taking you out of your household and putting you where they want to put you, like a shelter, one of the biggest shelters, one of the biggest DHS shelters in Tulsa. You think the fuck that they was, bro, even a staff was trying to fuck me. Come on now, like, that's not protection. You think you taking me out of a good, a fucked up situation, but really, they was just putting me in even worse situations. And then, not even fucking listening to nothing that I'm fucking saying. Like, if I'm telling them, yo, I don't feel comfortable at this place. This man keep trying to, holler at me or do something. And I told my foster mom and she's not believing in me. They didn't believe me. You know what they tried to do? Send me to a crazy home. So, because I was so, this is the thing. Once I finally was like, yo, this man keep trying to fucking come in my room and touch me. And they was like, oh, well, we're going to talk to him about it. We're going to talk to him about it. In my young mind, I'm like, why would you talk to this man? Like, after they did that, you know what his kids tried to do? They tried to come to my school and fight me like, oh, why you telling what my uncle doing? Bitch, is he doing it to you too? And is it a fucking problem? Bitch, if your uncle is trying to touch me in the wrong way, y'all need to look at your uncle. Or your dad, or whoever the fuck he is to you. So, instead of my fucking caseworker doing what she needed to do to get me out of there, she went and started conflict between me and the whole family. So I bust out everybody's windows, from my foster parents to everybody in the fucking neighborhood, because they had me fucked up. And I was like, well, shit, anybody in this neighborhood is part of them. In my young mind, I was just like, fuck them all, bitch. And then when they separated me and my sister, oh, it was over. It was over. It was no longer Mrs. Nice Nelly. It was no longer following any rules. I think at that point, once they separated me and my sister, after me and my sister had got so tight, I kind of like lost it. Like I was never the same. I was never the same. Like I always wanted to fight. I always wanted to. I never could stay at one place. Once they separated me and my sister that first time, shit. After that, I was in. Excuse me. I was in foster home after foster home, group home after group home. I'm talking about level E group homes, the worst of the worst. They even, shout out to Kane Cuddy, shout out to Linen Fresh, because I actually met them when I was in the system. In one of the, see, they had this level E group home, and I remember it was in Chickasha. That shit was crazy. And you think the fuck that I was protected in any of these places? No. Not, I wasn't protected. And then they had the nerve to send me to a mental hospital, not only for telling what was going on, but they sent me there for masturbation. Talking about, you masturbating. Bitch, first of all, we'll get into that story another time. But there's no need to send me to a co-ed place. This is a co-ed mental hospital. And every morning you wake up, you have to say, hi, my name is Janelle, and I'm here for masturbation. In front of all these fucking people, embarrassing me my whole young adult life, and then making me sleep with my fucking hands across my chest like this. And then the fucking men sitting in front of my window like, you can masturbate, we won't mind. You just got to do it in front of us. Grown ass fucking men. Mind you, I was like 13, 14 in these bitches. You think they gave a fuck? No. They didn't give a fuck. The system don't give a fuck about, I don't give a fuck if it's DHS. I don't give a fuck if it's prison. Any type of motherfucking system from, I was never protected in prison and I was never protected in DHS. Trust me. It was like, where is the protection? Because you thought you was doing something by taking me from my family, but no. I think I was worse off in DHS. It was some fucked up ass shit that was going, and it was times where they took me to places where I was like, what the fuck is this? Never heard of this town in my life. Trying to separate me from everybody. Fuck all that. So, yeah, I would run away every time I got a chance. That's why I say I don't really remember getting out of DHS custody before I came to prison. Because I ended up catching my case at a young age, too. By the time I caught my case, I was so motherfucking fed up with the way life was. With men taking advantage of me. Because it didn't start. It didn't start from DHS. It started way before that when I was a fucking kid, 9 years old. So being in DHS custody and having to go through that, I'm like, oh no. I'm going through this shit again? No, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. So by the time I got raped this last time, when I caught my case, I was like, nah. If ain't nobody gonna take up for me, I'm gonna take up for myself. And in my young mind, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna tell my brother, because that's my nigga. That's who's closer to me. Me and my brother was like this. I was like, I gotta, because this is his homeboy that did this shit. I gotta tell him so he can handle this shit. And however he wanna go about it, we gonna do this. If y'all just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, and subscribe to the Spotify, because we are on Spotify now. This episode on Spotify got interrupted a few times more than I would like, but we keeping it going. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and we're gonna keep it going. So, I mean, man, y'all, this shit, I can't believe I really been starting to write a book too about this shit, because a lot of people don't know this. They don't know this. And I'm telling you, like, that shit really fucked me up from being in DHS, because I'm just like, I was at my wit's end when I caught my case. I was like, shit, this motherfucker took advantage of me. Like, he took something from me that, no. And then, after I tell my brother, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? This is my big brother. He gonna protect me. He gonna make sure I'm good. He gonna handle this nigga. He gonna handle this nigga. But in my young mind, I still couldn't get over the fact that, again, some motherfucker took advantage of me. And in my head, I allowed it. Like I wasn't strong enough to fight back. Like, I was so weak-minded that I allowed this shit to fucking happen. In my head, I'm thinking this because I was like, I wanted so bad to be like my brother that I was doing any and everything. Whew. Y'all, this is making me emotional. Whew. I'm trying not to cry. Whew. But when I was younger, I wanted to be just like my brother. Like, just like him. Like, I wanted to be a whole boy. I was like, fuck that shit. I wanted to be like my brother. I looked up to him. I thought he was just the coolest person in the world. You know. And we was tight. We was tight. And when I told him about what his homeboy did, in my head, I was just like, shit, he gonna handle it. But I still couldn't handle myself. I still couldn't be around myself. I still couldn't just be. So I cut myself off from everybody. Because I was really still just going through shit in my head, too. Trying to figure out how I let that shit happen. How I allowed it to happen. How did it happen? Could I have done something to prevent it? Was it my fault? So I just kept thinking these type of things, and I didn't want to be around nobody. Not even my family. I wouldn't answer the phone for nobody. I was only around my co-defendant. And I was like, shit. I'm just going to take care of him and his family, because his daddy was a crackhead. And he was spending all their money on crack. So I was like, shit, I'm going to just stay here. I was so broken. I felt like I had to take care of somebody else that was broken. You know, because I didn't want to think about what I was going through. But I was also going through it, man. At the time, you know, even I was still trying to keep myself up. I even tried to try out for the fucking American Idol, and still wasn't in my right mind, and just shit was just, it just wasn't right. That happened in June of 2007. When it first happened, when he first raped me, and I first told my brother. Or 2008, I'm sorry. And when I told my brother, like I said, I'm thinking he gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he gonna handle it. He gonna make sure I'm straight, because I'm his little sister. I'm the baby. I'm the one they supposed to protect. I'm the one that they supposed to go to bat for. So I was like, shit, my brother gonna take care of this. So as I was trying to get my mind right, I wasn't really thinking like that I would have to do anything. But I knew that in my head, I was like, I said it. I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I see this man again. And like 3 weeks after he had raped me, I had to go back over to, not even to his house where he stayed at, but I didn't find out till afterwards that he was holding drugs at my brother's girlfriend's house. And that's where all my shit was. So I was like, I gotta go get all my shit from her house, because that's where all my clothes is. Because I didn't take nothing. After he raped me, I left butt-ass naked, didn't take nothing. Like, I literally had to start from scratch because all my shit was at my brother's girlfriend's house. I was like, I'm not about to go get that shit. I'm not coming to this side of town at all. I hate that side of town now. And I grew up on that side of town. So I was like, So finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back over there. I'm going to go get my shit. But I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do if I ever see this man again. I remember saying that. I remember I said that like 3 weeks later. The first, like, right after he raped me. 3 weeks later, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I see this man. I was like, I just hope that he ain't over there, because when I had called my brother's girl, I was like, I'm on my way to come pick my stuff up. And she got quiet. I was like, why are you so quiet? She was like, because I had told her what happened. And she was like, he on his way, the dude that had raped me, she was like, he's on his way to come get his work. I was like, what you mean? She was like, I've been holding his work. I was like, okay. Like, why the fuck? I said, was you doing that when I was living there? Like, and she was like, no. So, like, why are you doing that now? But she didn't owe me no loyalty, so I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you know what? Let me just come get my shit out. And so when I got there, she was like, he didn't come yet, so he's still on his way. She was like, you might make it out before he get here. Mind you, I'm young. I'm angry. This man raped me. Still, this nigga just walking around like, ain't nobody did shit to him. I didn't hear, my brother didn't call me back telling me he did nothing, so I'm like, shit, maybe he didn't see him. In my young head, I'm like, maybe he didn't see him. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to put a knife on this couch, because if he come while I'm still here, shit, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do when I see him. I was like, so I'm just going to put this knife here just in case. So I'm packing up all my shit. I'm trying to hurry because I don't want to see this nigga. So I was trying to hurry up, pack my shit. I packed my shit up. And by the time I got like the last little bit of shit, this nigga walk in, didn't knock nothing. I'm like, damn, she got this nigga comfortable than a motherfucker. And as soon as he seen me, he kind of put his head down. But he was with somebody else. And I literally, I just remember I just started going crazy. Like, bitch ass nigga. You know, like, you raped me. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, first before I even said you raped me, like, I was like, you bitch ass nigga, I can't believe you even in my motherfucking presence. Like, I was just going crazy. And his homeboy was like, little mama, calm down. Calm down. Y'all, first of all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you on YouTube, hit the like button. Subscribe. Subscribe to the Spotify as well. It's Couch Chronicles, no limits. I'm doing a story time. And y'all, this shit is getting deep. For real. Motherfuckers getting offended calling my phone. But it's the Couch Chronicles. There ain't no fucking limits. So, this man come in. And I'm going crazy like, nah, bitch. Like, don't, nigga, you gotta go. I said, you could come back in whenever the fuck I leave. And he's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Trying to talk shit. And so his homeboy like, little mama, calm down. What he do? And that's when I was like, shit, this nigga raped me. The fuck? And everybody got quiet. He's like, ah, shit, I'm not in this. And he walked out. His homeboy walked out. And so he was so embarrassed, he started trying to fight. So it was a big ass, I'm talking about niggas. I'm talking about the fight was so motherfucking ending. My co-defendant didn't do shit. It was me, my brother's girl, her best friend. All of us was fighting this nigga, this one nigga. We was fighting this one nigga. Like, I'm talking about, he knocking bitches out. He didn't knock me out, though. The fuck? He knocked Ashley out. Ashley got up. Nigga, I get I remember getting the cookie jar. I'm smashing it against his face. He swing. He punched me in my face. I fall out. I get back up swinging, but I'm swinging in his gut, his dick. I don't give a fuck. Finally, my hand touched the couch. I finally get to the couch, and I'm like, nigga, I get this knife, and I'm like, nigga, if you don't leave, I'm on God, I'ma stab you. And he was like, I don't, bitch, you ain't finna stab. I was like, on God, you need to fucking leave. He fighting all his thizzles. I'm talking about thousands of fucking thizzles flying everywhere. I'm talking about this apartment complex. The fight was so loud and so big and so dramatic that motherfuckers was coming out they shit. But his homeboy was downstairs telling people what was going on. Cause niggas was trying to come up there cause they like, is that a nigga fighting these girls? And they like, shit, he was like, shit, they fucking him up. He ain't just dogging them. He was like, but shit, he raped them or he raped her or whatever. And so this is what, and niggas was like, shit. They knew me as Honey Nut back then. So they like, shit, you know, that's Honey Nut, the one that work up at such and such and da-da-da-da-da. Nah, so niggas was trying to come up there. Mind you, my co-defendant ain't even doing shit. It's me and the girls fighting. Finally, I had this knife. But by this time, the fight led outside. He tried to throw me over the balcony because I had this knife. And I'm like, my nigga, I'm going to stab you. I said, I'm about to count to 3. And if you don't let me go and you don't get the fuck up out of here, I'm going to stab you. Nigga, by the time I counted to 3, he didn't move. And I had to start stabbing. So I just remember coming down as hard as I can, as many times as I could. And all I remember is blood just squirting up in my face. I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know where the fuck I stabbed him. I just knew I was stabbing. And I just remember blood was squirting everywhere. And finally, my co-defendant came out of nowhere and pushed him down the steps the rest of the way. So, I didn't know what was going to happen after that. I just knew I had to get the fuck up out of there. But I remember his homeboy was like, you know, because he didn't leave with him. He stayed and made sure that we was straight. And he was like, I need your number because I'm about to take this nigga to the hospital. But I wanna keep in touch with you because I need to make sure you straight. I'm like, all right, bet. So I gave him my number. And I left. I went back to the north side because this was on the south side of Tulsa. I went back to the north side. And he called me and he was like, hey, he passed out. He said when he got to the hospital, he passed out. And his baby mama is up there. Mind you, I had never seen his baby mama. I can't believe how many people are interrupting me. I just can't believe this shit. This is crazy to me. This is really crazy. This is the first time this shit has ever happened. It's like, don't nobody want me to tell my truth. Don't nobody want me to tell. And this has been for a long time. Nobody ever want me to tell my story. Nobody ever want me to just be real, because if I be real if I'm just being real like I'm doing today, motherfuckers gonna be mad. Y'all see they keep blowing my phone up, interrupting my fucking shit. Because they don't want me to tell this shit. Everybody always want me to be quiet. Everybody always want me to, nah, fuck that shit. How the fuck you think I'm supposed to get closure? How the fuck you think I'm supposed to move on? This way. This the only way I know how. And my Couch Chronicles has literally been my therapy. So, this is the therapy you never knew you needed. If you're just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. Of course, my Spotify keeps getting interrupted. But thank God for YouTube, because YouTube ain't never going to get interrupted. I'm going to keep going. So, man, y'all, this shit is crazy. Honestly, I'm like, what? I'm just trying to tell my truths. That's it. Like, man. So, if you want to support the couch, y'all, hit the Cash App and the PayPal. It's THA Real JANELL. Cash App or PayPal, either one. Make sure you follow the pages. Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify and Couch Chronicle .no limits on Instagram. And follow the YouTube. It's THA Real JANELL. And my main page on Instagram, THA Real JANELL. Like, subscribe. If you on YouTube, hit the like button. Subscribe. I'm just saying. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. So, he called me telling me that his baby mama had went up there because he had fell out. After that, I was like, shit. Honestly, I never thought I would see the man again. I never thought I would see that man again. So I tried to move on with my life. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I love you, love. So I tried to move on with my life. Honestly, I couldn't even go back to work. I had a job, but I was like, shit, I can't even go back to work. I don't want to be around people. So I started hustling, and I was like, shit, fuck that. I'm going to just hustle. I don't need to work no real job anyway. So I was hustling, just trying to just get it how I live it, basically. Trying to stay out of the shelters, and I was just like, shit. And juvie, I was like, fuck that. I'm about to just hustle. But that was, what, June? September came. Yeah. September came. It's crazy because we supposed to be wrapping up, but I ain't wrapping up. I got to go to New Music Monday, but I'm probably going to give y'all a few more minutes because I got some shit to say. But we can always do another story time next Monday. I'll finish. If I don't get to finish, I will finish next Monday. So September came, and I remember, mind you, I didn't like going to the South Side because that's where I caught my case. I was like, I'm not going back to the South Side. That's where I caught my case. Or not caught my case. That's where I got raped. So I was like, I'm not going back to the South Side. My dumb ass went back to the South Side. So I go back to the South Side. South Side, where I grew up, is called 6-1. So I went back to 6-1. And I just so happened to see his ass in a random gas station. Mind you, back then I said, I don't know what I'm going to do if I see him. And for some reason, these same thoughts and feelings came back when I seen him again. I was like, my whole body was like, that's the man that raped me. Now, I didn't really know for sure because he looked kind of different at this time. But my whole body was like, that's the man that raped me. That's him. That is fucking him. So I was like, you know what? Let me make sure this is him. So I didn't go back to where I was living that whole night. And they kept blowing my phone up. I wouldn't answer for nobody. I was like, I'm not answering for nobody because I'm going to watch this man. I think I went on 3 days without talking to anybody or going back. I didn't even sleep, take a shower, nothing for 3 days because I was so, what's the word? Basically, I was just so busy watching this motherfucker to make sure that this was him. I needed to see what all moves he was doing, where he was going. Is this him? Is this the same apartment? Because I was fucked up that day. I didn't really know exactly what apartment, but I knew what area it was. So after 3 days, I finally called, who is my co-defendant. I called my co-defendant. I was like, he was like, damn, where the fuck you been? Like, you know, we got money on the floor, da 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 da. And I was like, shit, I found him. He was like, he already knew what I was talking about. I was like, I found him. And so he was like, shit, come here, you know, let's talk about this or whatever. I go back out north. And by this time, I'm looking for guns. I'm looking for shit to handle my business because now I'm realizing, okay, it's been what? It's been 3 months and this nigga still walking, breathing, doing whatever the fuck he want. And in my young mind, I was thinking, shit, he ain't even from here. Not in my town. That's what I was thinking. Like, damn, like, is my brother so busy he couldn't handle his business or handle... That's what I was thinking. Like, what the fuck? Why didn't he? So, I'm finding guns. I'm like, shit. Only thing I could find was a shotgun and a motherfucking, actually 2 shotguns. One with a extendo so motherfucking long it was as tall as me. I was like, I'm not gonna use that shit. That shit looked like a motherfucking, like I'm about to go fucking catch a deer. So I was like, I'm not gonna use this one, but I will use this other motherfucking shotgun. It was a double barrel. I remember it was a double barrel, and I remember getting the handle sawed off. Now, mind you, sawing off a shotgun is a felony, a federal charge. Yeah, it is. So I was really facing federal time. But thankfully, I had a splinter on my shotgun that made it past. It was like like maybe like a centimeter past what it's like. I don't know how short it could be. But that splinter saved my life basically. But so I got the sawed-off shotgun, and I was, mind you, I was ready. So it was like maybe 3 weeks that had passed. And finally I was like, shit, I'm ready. I'm ready. It was like, it was September 22nd, I think. September 20. It was maybe like, I want to say it was either after my mom's birthday or before my mom's birthday. But either way, I know that the day that they came and arrested me, nah, fuck that. Now, whatever day it was, I know it was in September. I want to say the 20th, but they found me I don't know. It was in September though. So I went to his apartment. I had my co-defendant, his best friend. And I'm thinking, okay, y'all, shit, I don't even really need y'all to do nothing. Because they had their little mask on. Me, I didn't give a fuck about a mask. I was like, fuck a mask. Fuck any of that. I want this nigga to see who the fuck I am. And what the fuck, I want him to know that what he did was wrong. And I'm the one that's going to motherfucking handle it. Since nobody else is. Y'all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. There ain't no fucking limits. I'm supposed to be wrapping it up, but I still got some shit to say. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the Spotify. It's Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify. If you want to support the couch, if you want to support me, anything, Cash App, THA Real JANELL, or PayPal, THA Real JANELL. So we get to his apartment. Like I said, I went and stole a car. I was like, I'm not about to drive well, I didn't have a car at the time. My car had broke down. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna steal a car. And I'm gonna go over there. And I don't even give a fuck if I don't make it all the way back to the north side in that stolen car, but I know that I'm going to make it there in that motherfucker. So I go to his apartment with my co-defendant. And my co-defendant and his best friend. And I remember getting in the parking lot and started driving around to where he's staying. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Like, I know what he did. And maybe what I did the first time was enough. Stabbing him and all that. Maybe that was enough. Maybe that was enough. So I looked at them and I was like, shit. We just gonna go home. Fuck it. I thought that's what I was about to do. But as soon as I pulled out of my parking space and looked up at his motherfucking balcony, and I don't even know what made me do that. But something was just like, look at his balcony. Like, I literally had just talked myself out of it and was literally about to leave. I would have never been to prison. I would have never did none of that shit. I would have never did none of that time. But you know what drove me over the edge? What drove me over the edge is when I looked up at that fucking balcony and I seen my brother. That shit. That was the worst feeling for me in the world. Because I looked up to my brother. I loved him so much. I want us to be just like him. And I told him, thinking that he was going to protect me. Thinking that he was going to make sure that I was straight. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he loved me, because it was like he was the only one that ever did anything for me on my birthday night. I mean, he never really, my sister always talk about this, but he never, I remember he got me a scooter when I wanted one. You know what I mean? Like, so when I see him up there, when I seen him up there, I lost my mind. I lost it. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't. And because I couldn't believe it, I called his girlfriend and I was like, yo, I need you to call Jamil on three-way. I need you to call him and tell him to come to you right now. Matter of fact, ask him where he is. And so she called him on three-way. She's like, hey, babe, where you at? And he's like, I'm on the highway. I'm on the highway, and these niggas just drove past me with these masks on. He was talking about my co-defendant and his homeboy, because they had their mask on. But he couldn't see me in the driver's seat because, number one, I'm dark. It was dark. And I didn't have no mask on. So those masks, you could see a white bandana across somebody's face. And she was like, you on the highway and you seen somebody in a mask? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm about to get off on the exit. I'm pulling up. Lying. Lying. I watched his every move. I watched his every move. And I was like, shit. I looked back at my co-defendant and his best friend. I was like, y'all ready? As soon as he leave, we going in that bitch. As soon as I seen my brother get in that car, because I left. Not even left, but I bent the corner so he can come out and do what he needed to do and leave. As soon as he left, I got out the car. After I parked it around the corner, got out the car, and I politely walked up to the apartment complex that he stayed in. And the way his door is, or the way his door was, is right when you open the door, it's steps and you go up. So as soon as I came in, I went straight up. First of all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 to 9 Central Time. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Spotify. Shit, we supposed to be ending in a little bit, but I still got some more to say. So, I'm going to do it for a few more minutes, and I'm going to wrap it up, and we can pick up story time next Monday. So I walk up the steps with the sawed off, and I didn't know where he was going to be at, where he was going to be sitting, none of that shit. I just knew that I didn't give a fuck at this point. At this point, I was thinking, my brother didn't take up for me. Excuse me. It's the beers, y'all. I'm sorry. I was thinking, not only did my brother not take up for me, but he didn't handle the situation. Sorry. And in my head, I'm like, I gotta handle the situation myself. Because ain't nobody gonna think that they could just fuck me over, rape me, and do none of that shit and just walk around this bitch like everything is good. So that's what I was thinking. So as soon as my brother left, I walked up the motherfucking steps. The door wasn't even locked. The door wasn't locked. The door was not locked. I opened the door and I walked up the steps. And honestly, I was dragging the motherfucking shotgun. My co-defendant was right behind me. And when I came up the steps, shit, I picked that motherfucker up after dragging it and was like, and as soon as he seen me do like this, he ran towards me as fast as he could. And I remember we was fighting over the motherfucking shotgun. We was fighting. We struggling. By this time, he's behind me. I'm a woman. He's a man. So he kind of got the best of me. He did. He did. My co-defendant couldn't help nothing. Nothing. So we fighting. And he finally put the shotgun on my chin. I should have died that night. Because when it was on my chin, it was a double barrel shotgun. We was both struggling to pull the fucking trigger. So mind you, as it's on my chin, and I couldn't get the trigger to the next one. I couldn't get it. And I wasn't finna pull the other one because this is my chin. So I don't know how I did it, but I kind of like moved, and when he pulled the trigger, I couldn't hear nothing. I just remember the first bullet, and it was buckshots. It was buckshots. It went straight through the entertainment system. And we still fighting, still struggling. And again, it's back on my chin. It's back on my chin. But this time I got the trigger. Because he's still on the other one. He's still clicking. And finally, we fighting. I'm telling you, y'all, I finally pulled my head like this. And when I pulled my side, all I remember is I couldn't hear out this side again. So not only was I fucking deaf, my co-defendant up there trying to help me too. I finally kind of like, shit, we done. This is a double barrel shotgun. These bitches is gone. I look back, and his face was blown off. So in my head, I was like, okay, good, he's gone. No. This man started chasing me with half a face. Chasing me and my co-defendant down the steps. So we racing down the steps. I'm dragging the shotgun. When he dropped down to the bottom of the steps, he lands on my co-defendant's legs. So they fighting over the gun at this point. And in my head, I'm like, I can't believe this man is still fighting with half a fucking face. But I didn't know at the time that he was on cocaine. And that's what kept him alive. So they still fighting. And finally, he's hitting him in the face with the part that's sawed off. Stabbing him in the face with it. And he finally let go. And I remember running to the car that we stole. And I'm telling you, when I say we literally was pulling out the parking lot as the police was coming in. The officer that arrested me was like, oh yeah, we drove right past you. I should have known it was y'all. And they did. They drove right past us, looked at us, and kept going. I remember that. Y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I ain't gonna lie. I'm emotional as fuck. It's 8 o'clock. I'm supposed to be ending. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. If you didn't catch this story time, it's always gonna be on YouTube and it's on Spotify. Well, what we could salvage because we kept getting interrupted. If you want me to finish the story time, leave me a comment. Let me know. I will next Monday. I gotta get to New Music Monday. For real. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I'm on Spotify and YouTube right now. That's Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify and The Real Janelle on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see the visual. It's THA Real JANELL. I have some announcements, but I will actually save these for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I will see y'all tomorrow with Andrew from Origins. I actually sent him the flyer. I hope that he's coming. He told me he was coming, but he might still be out of town, so he hasn't confirmed just yet. He confirmed, but he ain't reconfirmed when I tell him that it's tomorrow. But if he ain't here, y'all, comment if you want me to finish story time, because we can actually finish it tomorrow if he don't show up. So I love y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to my crybaby ass. It's the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limits. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow.